Paul Daley back again, less
We're
than
back.
2 months from that crazy fight with Saba Hamasi. 3 straight wins, 2 straight finishes, and a brand new contract with Bellator.
I have?
If that's what we're is that not true?
Well, I guess so. I guess so.
You guess so?
I don't know.
Well, that's what we want to know. Is it true or not?
Shit, I guess so. I need to speak to my manager after. If there was talk of making a new contract, I don't think I've signed one yet. But I guess so. You can see you took me by surprise, so we need to.
I mean, I figured.
I need to speak to management and see if we got all them zeros right. See if we got them zeros right.
All right. Well,
but yeah.
I mean, if I told you 2 years ago that we'd even be talking about maybe signing a multi-fight deal in 2021, would you have believed me?
Hell no. But prior to the whole COVID pandemic, I was, even though I kind of went over a little bit, I was set on retiring at 35, and then I think the Michael Page fight kept me around. The tournament and the Page fight kept me around a little bit longer. But you know what? I feel great. I'm 38. I feel as good as I ever have. I'm doing things a little bit differently. I feel sharp. My training's good. I've been putting a lot of time into the areas that I neglected. Recently got my black belt. So yeah, I'm feeling extremely confident. Feeling fresh.
Yeah, it was less than a year ago that you said, you know what, my next fight, that's it.
Yeah.
My retirement fight.
Yeah.
And then, we go on to the Hamasi fight, and you weren't exactly sure where you stood heading into that fight, and then you have this all-out classic crazy fight with him. What changed for you? Was it that fight, knowing that I can still go in there and swing them things and have fun?
To be fair, I wasn't even sure after the fight, because like I say, it was a matter of getting what I felt I was worth, and even seen on my Instagram, I asked for free agency, and they literally. It's a very unique situation, but they said, look, you're still a Bellator fighter, but we're going to give you free reign. Let Ali, let Dominance go and see what you can get. And there were more lucrative offers out there, but me and my management sat down and we said, look, if we're going to do anything, we need to be sure of the move. And Bellator pushing out frequent shows in comparison to a lot of these other promotions that were making offers, and they're a stable show with a good network behind them. So, that was where it ended. But now I hear I got a new contract. So I don't know. I'll speak to Ali after the fight, but I was still unsure. And another thing that kept me going was the fact that Bellator put me in there straight away. I asked to be put in July, August, and they put me in before then. It was like, well, can you go in June? I just had my week off training, and I said, yeah. What was it? Six weeks I think I had. I said, yeah. I was a week off, and I was still. I never stopped training. I think that's another secret to my success. I never stopped training. I'm always doing at least one a day, whether it be lifting, whether it be jiu-jitsu, whether it be bag work, whether it be hitting the pads, sparring, or even teaching. I'm doing something all the time. So yeah, I was good to go.
It's pretty interesting because it seemed like only yesterday you're fighting John Fitch and you're fighting Michael Page, and they're taking you down, and let's just say you weren't thrilled with the entertainment factor that was being presented to the fans during those fights, and now your last 2 fights have just been bananas, stand and bang fights, super exciting, the kind of fights and finishes that people expect when they see and hear Paul Daley's name. How much more are you enjoying the sport now than you did in 2017, 2018, 2019?
You know what? I love the sport and the performance I'm putting in even more, because I've got a certain founded confidence. I was always confident before of my knockout ability, but my training's right. My performances in the gym have gone through the roof. It's transferring over into live fights. And maybe I needed those fights against Fitch and guys like that to sort of tell me, you know what, you need to really step your level of thinking up when approaching fight camps. And this is why I'm saying this fight, there ain't nothing Jason Jackson can do to win this fight. There's just nothing. I know his plan A is to wrestle, and then his plan B will be to strike. That's basically it when you come to an MMA fight. You're either going to go for a takedown or you're going to stand and trade. I'm gonna force him to go to his plan B, and I'm gonna knock him out.
He brought in, it wasn't him, but his training partner and teammate Gilbert Burns getting ready to fight Wonder Boy, and they brought in Raymond Daniels. So he got to work with Raymond for a little while after this fight. And he said that in the short amount of time he worked with Raymond, he taught him some things and opened his eyes to things that he's never even known about himself. They have like similar backgrounds as kids and stuff like that. So maybe he feels like he can stand with you. Like, do you just not expect that to happen?
I don't expect that. Michael Page was training with Raymond Daniels and fighting on the same competition since he was 11. And I sussed his whole game out completely. You've never seen Page fight so much on the back foot like he fought when he was against me. And that's because he knew I know the game. The stand-up game is what I know best. And there's nothing that Raymond Daniels could have shown him in that short amount of time that is going to help him in this fight. Nothing at all. So the Gilbert Burns thing's probably more relevant in the fact that he's trained with him for a longer period of time. But Gilbert Burns ain't me. And there's only one of me. And you can train with all the best guys in the world. Still isn't going to help you when you're in there with me.
Jason's been a guy that has always had a super high ceiling. Like, people looked at him, he had a lot of potential, he got big opportunities, and always came up a little short. Now he's kind of on this run right now. He's won 4 in a row. He's in a good spot. Have you been impressed with what he's been able to put together in his last few fights?
Yeah, he's improved a hell of a lot, and I've noticed that. And he's a decent character. Like I said, I've shared transport with him. I've sat on the way to medicals and spoke to him. He's more my kind of character than some of these MMA wannabe tough guys out here. But the improvements are not enough for him to win this fight. I know what he does well from research, and I know what he is likely to resort to again from research, but he's just not good enough. That is it. He's just not good enough.
I know you are enjoying yourself right now in MMA.
Yeah.
You're on this nice sort of fountain of youth that you found. You're really enjoying things. But you mentioned the network that Bellator is a part of, especially here in the United States. They're on Showtime, and a lot of cool things going on with them. And Bellator seems to be giving you what you want. Like, is there a part of you that wants to get involved with some of this other stuff? Maybe like get into the boxing world, like. They're throwing all these crazy fights out there, so maybe you can get a taste of that.
I wouldn't say no to those crazy, YouTuber versus fighter boxing fights, but they're going to stay clear of me. Even taking on Tyron Woodley ain't taking on me. I'm a different animal when it comes to striking. And these guys would have probably seen it. Ain't nobody gonna want to fight me and get their ass knocked out, YouTuber or not, 20 million or not, because it will be embarrassing as hell. But if the offer comes and the payday comes, then I would take it, definitely.
So you're hoping like the Pauls have like a cousin somewhere that wants to fight?
Maybe some cousin that has never watched an MMA fight, doesn't know who the hell I am, but has got those millions of followers and able to get me a big paycheck.
Do you think Tyron beats Jake Paul?
I love Tyron Woodley, but he should beat Jake Paul. But this is what I've explained. Boxing is different. I know Tyron Woodley would have trained boxing to fight MMA, but this is the first fight that he's had preparing just for boxing. Paul has only known boxing. He's only, even in a short amount of time, he's only prepared for boxing. He's only done them hard sparring rounds. He's only done the bags, the pads, the running, the skipping. But more importantly, the sparring. It's, you can spar boxing for an MMA fight and then you can spar boxing for boxing. It's different. And I've been in there with WBC champions, Commonwealth champions from the UK, undefeated international prospects. I've sparred them and it is different. And that is in preparation for MMA. I do okay, but I'd never say, I want to fight this kind of boxing match, because I wouldn't. It's just different. So Woodley should win because of the fight experience that he has, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets caught with a shot and knocked out.
Maybe you could buy Logan. Scott Coker said that you might bring him into Bellator. Obviously that's like...
I would fight any of them. For the paycheck, I would fight any of them. Trust me. I'd fight both of them on the same night for the money that's been being thrown around. So, yeah.
You're excited to be back in front of the fans? I mean, I feel like this is a good reaction to this fight, but this was a universally praised fight when it was announced.
Yeah, people love this fight. You know, I don't really understand why, to be fair, but I guess it's because I'm involved. The Hamasi fight, I understood why people were like, oh, this is going to be a fight, because it was the fight that people expected it to be, and that we're both bangers, you know, trading up and down. But Jason Jackson's a clean striker. He's not really a banger. You know, you look at his last fights, he's gone to a decision, split decision. So the only thing I can see people being excited for is watching him get knocked out, because I don't see what excitement he brings to it. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm happy to be co-main event, happy to be supporting a champion like Douglas Lima and Amasov in their title fight. And, yeah, I'm good to go, ready to go.
You've had over 60 of these things, man.
Yeah.
You're still going out there and you're still knocking guys out on these shows. I'm curious. Are there, like, any other benchmarks that you want to hit in the sport? Like, is there something that you haven't done yet that you still want to do?
I just love the sport. And, again, if you're on my Instagram or on my Facebook, when I had it, I threw out this quote, I'm searching for perfection, and perfection is unattainable, so my journey is endless, and that's how I am. Like, people got it mixed up when I got into this. Like, I'm a fighter, I bang people out, but I'm a martial artist at heart. I've been training martial arts since 7. So I'm just in this for the martial arts, and there's no end in sight as far as me and the martial arts. I'll do martial arts forever, and if I can still take those martial arts across and compete in a sport like MMA, then I will. If not, and the interest isn't there, then I'll stop. But the journey's endless for me.
Should Bellator introduce a daily weight title, 175 pounds?
This is another one that's been thrown up there. Like, if Nate Diaz and Masvidal can create a BMF belt, you know, then surely it makes more sense to have, for Scott, or for there to be like a 175 belt. At least it's a real division. There's nobody fighting for the BMF belt anymore. But, you know, there was a belt made. So I've been saying this in all the interviews. I think there should be a 175 belt made. I'm the current champion. If Scott wants to present me with a belt after I knock Jason Jackson out, you know, he's welcome to. But if not, then I'll pick it up on the next fight.
Then you'll definitely sign the contract, right?
Then I'm signing the contract, definitely.
So how quickly does this fight end?
You know, I think it's going to be entertaining. I think there will be a fast start on his part. I just got to show my experience, stay composed, and I think it's won in an exchange, and I think I'm going to knock him out pretty brutally, to be fair. I don't think he's ever been hit like I'm going to hit him, and I've seen his sparring with Anthony Johnson, but, you know, one of my most famous knockouts was against a guy from Black Zillion who was sparring with Anthony Johnson and Rashad Evans in Junior Killer at Bama. You know, the uppercut that's done millions and millions of views on social media. It doesn't matter who you spar with. It doesn't matter who you feel like you've been with big hitters. I'm Semtex. I'm different. Trust me.